About the Cold War and any lessons that we may have learned during that period. Anything that you could recommend that as the U.S. and European Union try to work together to address a rising China? You know, I think it's fair to say the U.S. is taking the lead on prohibiting domestic integration of Chinese technologies and investments through tariffs and entity lists, sometimes outright bans. But some European countries are reluctant to take such a hard-nosed approach. There are Belt and Road initiatives in Europe, as well as the use of log ink and Huawei technologies. Certainly they pose significant security risk to our NATO allies. So just curious, how should, in your estimation, the government respond to some of our friends in Europe accepting their investments and using their technologies?
Well, Representative, I think this is a very important topic, and you're right, during the Cold War there was extensive alignment of technology controls between the United States, European allies, as well as Japan. And today we've got some alignment, but much less than we had in the past, and this does create opportunities for Chinese firms to exploit differences in regulatory regimes. I think this is a problem that we need to put more attention to solving.
Thank you. Mr. Bree, it's interesting you're here. I was just been home in the district the last month several times talking to those people that use drones in agriculture. I'm a farmer myself. It's becoming quite a technology that's being embraced. And thankfully, your company provides a superior product to some of those that are options that are probably the one that was shown here today. So I'm very happy about that. But as you know, American companies, American consumers, when it comes down to picking whatever product they may be looking or shopping for, a lot of times comes down to the price. So since we're relying on these things so extensively, and that's growing, tell me what some of the barriers to producing more affordable drones in the U.S. might be, and how we can maybe help improve those market conditions. And is there any role that the Department of Agriculture, either federally or statewide, could play in making sure that farmers and Forest Service planners, everybody that utilizes these things has access to more affordable American-made machines?
Well, Representative Newhouse, I really appreciate the question and the sentiment behind the question. I would say the single biggest factor in price is scale. The larger the scale you're manufacturing at, the lower your price is going to be. You know, our cost structure is quite a bit higher than our Chinese competitors because we're operating at lower scale. We don't pass all of that cost along to our customers. We eat a lot of it ourselves. But the larger scale we get to, the lower we can get our costs, the more affordable our products become, the more customers they can reach. And so I think there's just this flywheel that we have to spin up, and measures like we discussed earlier, where you know, potentially tariffs on Chinese drones are used to support and fund the purchases of U.S.-made drones and let the end users pick the best product technology that suits them. I think things like that could make quite a bit of sense in leveraging the things that we're great at as a country in innovation and competition to get the flywheel spinning faster.
Thank you. Mr. Paul, very, how would you say, concerning to hear some of the statistics that you have given us. 76% of global shipbuilding orders in April of this year alone. That's a very tenuous position for us to be in. I would guess that most people in this country would tell you that that's, we should not be in that position. We should not be dependent on foreign manufacturers. So you've given us some recommendations to amplify our response here using the Section 301 petition, and we will definitely be looking at how we can be helpful there. I just wanted to pose a question that's been on my mind recently. You know, I guess a lot of us are very concerned about the fact that China has long-term strategies. They have specific outlines of goals in 5, 10, 15, 20-year, even longer increments. They're very adroit at doing that. We as the United States tend to think much shorter periods into the future. It's a very frustrating thing. Just your reaction to that, and what, you know, at the risk of bringing, that's totally fine, bringing criticisms to the U.S. Congress, what should we be doing differently? Should we change our strategy?
It's a great question, which would take 5 minutes to answer in full, but I'll summarize in 5 seconds if I can. It takes a
That's all the time we
combination-
have, actually.
It takes a combination of more aggressive trade policy, of more focused and strategic domestic incentives and investment in industries that will build our future. And it also takes collaboration with like-minded industrial democracies as well. And I'll be happy to explicate that for the record.
Yeah, thank you. Again, thank you all very much for being here today.